All right, what's going on? Welcome to my video today. So last time I made a video about the exhaust I made on this truck, right? It was the Cook's muffler, and then I dumped it before the axle. But hear me out. I know this sounds pretty not crazy, but you have to give this a try. Now, that was the most simplest thing at the time that I could do with what I had and my knowledge. You know, I didn't want to tinker with doing an over axle or like buying, you know, different types of parts and bends and all that for the exhaust tubing. So I stuck with that. You know, ran it for about what, 6 months, if that, or maybe a little bit less than that, probably 3 or 4. But there was it got a little annoying. You know, when you're driving, you know, in the city it's not too bad, but you're on the freeway, you're going to about 70, 75, 80, 85 or whatever. It gets a little annoying. You can definitely hear it. Now, I don't know if it had to do with the short little pipe I put there, you know, the little 30-degree bend, and I just spit it down before the axle. But now I got a little crazy. Not crazy, but I just was like, you know what? I wonder how it'd sound if I actually put a little bit more pipe. So what I did was I bought one U-bend 3-inch mandrel bent 409 stainless steel from Summit Racing, and I also bought a another, whatchamacallit, 40, I think it's a 4-foot 3-inch straight pipe. Now that one I didn't use in this application, but on the other truck we did do an exhaust setup, which I will get to that later. But I wanted to just dive into this real quick and tell you that I don't know if a lot of people talk about this, but the exhaust, obviously it's like the heartbeat of the truck. You know, you want it to make it sound great and whatnot, and sometimes it just gets a little it's hard to figure out. But what I could say, and with confidence I can say this. So what I did here is, let me show you real quick. Okay, so I did the 3-inch all the way to the collector. Got the Cook's muffler here, 3-inch. And then what I did was, with that 30-degree that I spit up, I cut it and I turned it over, and now it's over the axle. And then all I did was the one that I said, the U-bend, the 3-inch, I just cut it in half, and then I put literally a dump. So it looks like this, that, up, over, and then over the axle, and I dumped it right here, right there. Now to many, it may not seem like a, hey man, that looks kind of like wonky or whatever, but I'll tell you this much, it makes a huge difference. So without further ado, let's go ahead and turn it on and let you hear it. I don't know where to help set it up over here. Let's see if this works. All right, bear with me. Ugh. All right, so as you can tell, it sounds a little bit better. The exhaust note is a lot more how do I say this? It's more direct. Does that make sense? Because before I had it, it was very, very like loud and obnoxious, you know, just that little pipe. But now since we have, I guess, some, you know, some sound travel, it's a lot more, can't even explain it. I don't even know what the heck I'm talking about, but it sounds better. And it sounds, you just have to hear real life. Hopefully that did a little bit of justice. And hopefully you liked it, but if not, it's okay. You can obviously use different types of mufflers to suit your needs. A MagnaFlow, Flowmaster, Hush Power, whatever, AFE, all that good stuff. But I like the Cooks. And by the way, when I did this, and this is going to be like, I think, a selling point for these types of mufflers, there's absolutely no freaking drone. I shit you not. 80 miles, actually the faster you go, the quieter it gets. You're not going to believe it. Even with that crap that they put on for that, I don't know, there has like a, like when you're idling on the freeway, you know, about 80, it has like this, like, it like changes. I don't know if the cam split or for gas or whatever, but it sounds weird. But anyways, even after that, you can barely hear it. I highly recommend this, but you have to do this at least some sort, or, you know, at least keep your factory over the axle tailpipe, and, you know, leave it on, just cut it up and build that muffler and you'll be good. And if not, then, you know, you can go take the extra step and do all that. But by doing this, it just changed the truck drastically. It's more mature, if that makes any sense. It's not as loud as it used to be, not like obnoxious. It's like more clean and refined. But enough talking about that. Again, no drone. It cost me, muffler was 130 bucks. The pipes, everything was about another, not even 100 bucks, even including the hanger. So if you're in the market of getting an exhaust, and obviously these stupid exhausts, I'm just gonna be real flat out, I hate the freaking prices on them. A freaking side exhaust is $1,000. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, it's just a little bit of pipe. I mean, you can get any type of muffler, any type of pipe, finish, 409 stainless steel, aluminized, whatever you want, and you can suit it to your needs. Now, granted, you're gonna have to invest in some welder or have a buddy help you out, but I mean, come on, guys. I mean, what, we're car guys. We're supposed to be doing this type of stuff. Now, I'm gonna get off my my rant. But with all that being said, I appreciate your time, and with that, I will see you on the next one.